Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello everyone. Okay, we meet again today. This time around, I'm going to brief you on writing for the latest format in our SPM starting from 2021 onwards. Okay, I'm teacher Hazira. So here I would like to brief you a bit about this paper 2 in your SPM English paper. Okay, the standard writing test takes only 1 hour and 30 minutes and consists of 3 parts, which are designed to elicit a range of writing skills from all of you. The first 2 tasks, which are email and essay, are obligatory. The third task is chosen by you from a range of 3 options. So we have actually 4 options, but they will include only 3 options. The 4 options are review, article, report, or story. As a candidate, you have to complete all the 3 tasks. Okay, here is the SPM writing test overview. Okay, the writing test is taken by all Form 4 students and constitute 25% of their overall candidate grade. The other papers are reading and use of English, listening and speaking, also being worth 25% each. 3 sections all aim at the A2 or B2 CEFR range with an increase in level as the candidate progresses through the test. So words limits in place for each test part. As I mentioned earlier, the duration of the test is 1 hour and 30 minutes. 60 marks is available in the test across 3 tasks, all using a 5 sub-skills. So each part will contribute 20 marks. The instructions for the tasks are given on the question paper. So the candidates will write their answers on the question paper itself. The sub-skills for writing are content, communicative achievement, organization, and language. Okay, the writing test is intended to cover as wide a range of written genres as feasible within the practical limit of testing. An email focus on informal context, an essay task, and an extended writing task where candidates can choose from 3 options that I mentioned earlier. Okay, here is the overview of writing test tasks. So as you have to bear in mind that there are 3 parts in the writing paper. All the 3 parts are compulsory for you to answer. Part 1 and part 2 are compulsory and there is no choice of question. Meaning to say there will be only one question for each part. So you have no choice, you have to write an essay based on the questions given. Meanwhile, in part 3, you have a choice and there are 3 different tasks to choose from. Okay, I mentioned to you earlier. So we go further down here. Okay, part 1, it is compulsory task. Students have to write an email to a friend in about 80 words. Part 2 is also a compulsory task. Students have to write an essay in about 150 words. And finally, part 3, it is also a compulsory task. The only difference is you have a choice of tasks. Okay, this part has three questions or tasks to choose from. The task types may include an article, a review, a report, or a story. So you have to choose only one, then you have to write about 250 words. Okay, next one. All right, here is the simple briefing on SPM writing test format for part 1. Okay, the task type is informal message. Number of items mean number of questions. So I mentioned it earlier, we have only one question. Like it or not, you have to write based on that question. 20 marks for this particular task. The task format is you have to write an email to a friend in about 80 words. Okay, the relevant to curriculum, you actually will learn it while you are in Form 4 and Form 5. All right, so you can read for 4.1.2 until 4.2.4. Okay, this is an obligatory task and all students must complete, and the word length requirement is approximately 80 words. The task is designed to be accessible to all students of all proficiency levels, as it will typically require a personal and concrete response on general social and everyday matters. Okay, next slide will be the example of the task input. Okay, here is the example. All right, you receive an email from your new friend Amy, who has just moved to your hometown. Okay, hi, the school holidays is finally here. Let's go for a picnic with our friends. Where shall we go and what can we do there? What should we bring? I'll be waiting for your reply. Bye. So now write an email to your friend in about 80 words. So you have to write your answer in the space given later in the question paper. Alright, the scenario is an email from your new friends. Okay, the task sets the scene. Means that in this case that Amy has just moved to your town and the school holidays have started. So then the task then includes certain points that you have to write later. The points framed as question which the students needs to answer. Alright, where shall we go? What can we do there? Or what should we bring? The input ends with an informal closing, partly to help emphasize the social context of the message as an informal exchange between friends. So the students are then given a specific email template into which to write their reply. Okay, here is the test format for part 2. Okay, just now the task type was informal, but in part 2, it becomes formal text. And again, there will be only one question, so you have no choice also. So again, 20 marks for you to answer this question. It is considered as guided writing in about 125 to 150 words. Okay, maybe some of the questions will ask you to explain advantages or disadvantages, or maybe you have to develop ideas based on the scene given in the question. So here is the example of part 2 example task. You must answer this question, of course. So the question is, write your answer in 125 to 150 words in an appropriate style. Your class has been discussing how they spend their money, and your teacher has asked you to write an essay about what you would spend your money on. So in your essay, you should write about what you would like to buy, or what would you like to buy, reason for your choice, where do you usually buy these things. So you have to write your essay using all the notes and giving reasons for your point of view. As in the example given, the scenario is that you have been discussing how you spend your money in your class, and your teacher maybe has asked you to write an essay. So the teacher's instruction highlights three main points which you need to cover: what they like to buy, why they buy this item, and where they usually buy this thing. Alright, they are additionally required to give reasons for their points of view. Okay, as you can see, there are three things in the questions, and yet you also must give your reason for every point of view that you mention in your essay later. All right, we move on to final part, which are part 3. Sorry, which is part 3. Okay, the task type is called extended writing. Okay, remember, first one we have informal, formal. Now is called extended writing. Okay, number of item. All right, as I mentioned it earlier, in this part, you will be given about 3 questions, but you have to choose only one for you to write. Okay, an extended text or writing require you to write between 200 to 250 words. So there are 3 tasks and the candidates choose one. The task may include an article, a review, a report, or a story. Okay, in this part, you must master all the format for all the 4 types of essays. So by right, you have no choice. You should know how to write article, how to do review, how to write a report, or how to write a story. So the topic is one which is accessible to all, but which can allow stronger students to show what they can do. Alright, means that the good student can easily use this, what we call it, use this chance to write what you can do. Alright, here is the example of task part 3, this one for article. You see this notice on the board outside the school library: articles wanted about my school canteen. What other types of food would you like to be served? What special facilities should your canteen have? How can you improve your canteen? So you have to write us an article answering these questions. The best article will be displayed on the school magazine. Write your article. Sorry, you have to bear in mind the number of words is between 200 to 250 words here for article. Now let's look at the review. Example task. You recently saw this notice in a magazine. Reviews required. Have you watched any interesting movies lately? Send us your movie review. Say what you enjoy about the movie. Would you recommend the movie to your friends and why? So the best reviews will be published in our newsletter. So you have to write your review. Next is story. Example task for story. Okay, your teacher has asked you to write a story for a school magazine. The story must have the title, A Dream Comes True. So your story should include a description of the dream, how the dream is achieved. So you have to write your story based on that. If you are really good in doing this kind of essay, feel free to do so. Okay, last one is example task for report. Okay, your teacher has asked you to write a report to the school principal. The report must have the title. So what you have to write a report about the installation of security cameras in school, the purpose of installing CCTVs, and also the advantages and disadvantages of having CCTV. So write your report. So basically, there are all the example tasks that you have to be familiar with it because this is the new format for SPM 2021 onwards. So how to get 20 marks for each part? Okay, I mentioned it earlier. There are 4 sub-skills. Firstly, it's all about content, easy. Next one is all about communicative achievement, followed by organization, and last but not least is the language. So what is content? Okay, your content score depends on how fully you answer the question. This is only the overview, all right? If you fully answer the question, you will definitely get 5, the maximum marks for every sub-skill. If you don't answer one part of the question or include some irrelevant text, you will get 3 or 4 marks. However, if you only answer a small part of the question, you will for sure get between 1 or 2. And if you don't answer the question at all, you will get 0. All right. So the focus is on fulfillment of task requirement. Example, content elements are addressed appropriately. If they are asked to give advice, meaning to say, if you are asked to give advice, so you must do this rather than asking for advice. The important thing to note in relation to content is that the skill descriptors do not alter from task to task. Means to say, if you are able to answer every questions mentioned from the task, from the question, you will get full mark. All right. Next one is communicative achievement. What is it? Okay, CA is a short form for communicative achievement. It's a mix of 3 things. Okay, there are 3 things. Firstly, is your text type the right type? For example, if the question needs an article, do you write an article? If the question needs a report, do you write a report? So you should know by right the format for each questions in part 3 so that you are able to get full mark for this one. Number 2, How intelligent are your ideas? Okay, it means that do you hold your reader's attention? In other words, do you explain your ideas clearly? If you use the correct text type, explain your ideas clearly, and communicate some complex and some simple ideas, you can get 5 for CA. Alright, remember text type, there are three: informal, formal, and extended. Alright, extended writing. So do you use the correct format? Okay, next one is how clearly the ideas are explained. If you use the correct text type, explain your ideas clearly, and communicate simple ideas, you can get at least 3. If you more or less use the correct text type and communicate in simple ideas, you will get 1. So overall, CA is a mix of the correct text type, the intelligence of the ideas, and how clearly the ideas are explained. Okay, now we move on to organization. All right, organization is one of the 4 areas that the markers or the teachers or the examiners assess in writing. So again, same with other sub-skills, the marks will go from 0 to 5. Okay, this is only the brief about the marks that you will get for this sub-skill. You will get 1 if the text is connected and coherent. Connected means you use all the punctuation, full stops, commas, question marks, whatever punctuation that must be there, you use it. Coherent means your text makes sense. You use basic linking words and a very limited number of cohesive devices. Okay, basic linking words such as and, but, because, first of all. Meanwhile, limited number of cohesive devices that you use. Okay, you can refer to the example. This is how you get only 1 for organization. What is your favorite season and why? First of all, I like summer because I can go to the beach and swim. I like going to the beach, but I don't like working on a sunny day. Very straightforward, very simple. So you can only get 1 for organization for this part. Okay, what about 3? Okay, if you are targeting to get 3 marks for organization, your text is generally well organized and coherent. You are using a variety of linking words and cohesive devices. Variety means there are quite a few or more than a few of cohesive devices. You are using higher level linking words and phrases. You are using reference pronouns, substitution, ellipsis, and repetition. Okay. And in order for you to get 5 marks for organization, your text is well organized and coherent. You are using a variety of cohesive devices and organizational patterns to generally bring good effect. Organizational pattern is a higher level way of connecting sentence and paragraph than cohesive devices. All right. Linking words are cohesive devices but are separated here to refer to higher frequency vocabulary which provide explicit linkage. They can range from basic high frequency items such as and, but, to basic and phrasal items such as because, first of all, finally. Meanwhile, cohesive devices refer to more sophisticated linking words and phrases. For example, moreover, as a result. Okay, all right. Um, Linking words are simpler than cohesive devices. A good essay, a composition must show evidence of the higher order element in the descriptor to get merit the level, right? Paragraphing is also part of organization, meaning to say you have to show a very good paragraphing in order for you to get 5 marks for organization, right? The use of other cohesive devices should be taken into account when considering the appropriateness and sufficiency of paragraphing in a response. Besides that, punctuation can be a help to the organization of a text. Don't forget to put the correct punctuation in every sentence. If a text is linked with commas and no full stop, this is not appropriate. However, some short texts may not necessarily show more than capital letters and full stop. Right. Last part is what is language? Okay, your language score shows how good your grammar and vocabulary are. Grammar means present tense, past tense, present continuous, past perfect tense, all the preposition, what else, adjective, adverbs, all the vocab are in the mark of language. If you use a range of vocabulary and grammar accurately, including high-level words and complex grammatical forms, you will definitely get 5 for language. Right. If you use a range of both everyday vocabulary and simple and complex grammatical forms, then you will get 3. If you use everyday words and simple grammar without making too many mistakes, you will get only 1. And if the mistakes in your grammar and vocab are so bad, are so glaring that the readers can't understand your text, you will definitely get 0 for language. Okay, basic vocabulary refers to vocabulary such as used for survival purposes, for simple transaction. Meanwhile, everyday vocabulary refers to vocabulary that comes up in common situation of a non-technical nature in the relevant domain. Alright, you must know when to use present tense, when to use past tense, and so on in your writing. Okay, I will stop my presentation now. I will continue later with other slides. Maybe how can you write better or to score full marks for all the 3 parts. Thank you for watching. See you again. Bye.